Hello and welcome to the Just Another Castle podcast. I'm your host Matt, and with me this week is our pro gamer Mike.
Slippy, get back here!
And our retro aficionado Unoclay.
It's summertime ball sweat.
Air conditioning. No shirt.
Oh yeah, guys, what up? Taking it back to little DJ Jazzy Jeff and the fresh play in the house. What's going on, guys?
For context, we're all in hot, stuffy rooms with no air conditioning. So that's fun.
Yeah.
I guess we'll just get into our Game of All Times tournament.
By now you know the drill, but if you're some newbie just joining the show, at the start of the year, the four hosts of Just Another Castle each named our 8 favorite games of all time. Then, every week, 2 games go head-to-head, and the winner advances to the next round. In the end, 31 games will fall, and 1 game will rise above the rest to become Just Another Castle's official favorite game of all time. If you want to see the current brackets, head over to www.challenge.com/justanothercastle. That's challenge with an O. Also, sometimes our votes result in a tie, and you listeners can help settle the match. If you want to be part of the fun, follow Just Another Castle or the Mango Viking on Twitter, and you might get tagged to throw a tie-breaking vote. Leave luck to the heavens, and leave the pasta casserole to Matt's sister.
Oh, it's really cool. It's really cool.
Last week was The Last of Us versus The World Ends With You, and The Last of Us won. And this week is Marvel vs. Capcom 2 versus Super Mario Galaxy 2. Two sequels that end in 2, and we'll find out which one's better. I forget the joke I made, whatever. Let's get on with it.
Moments from now, we will find out which one is better. That is for sure. Oh gosh.
All right. Should we do our 30-second spiel or just vote?
Well, this is Eli's game, but I'll do both. I'll do the stand like I did last game. I'll do both.
Yeah.
All right. So, but I'll combine them into 1:30, sure. 45-second baloney. Okay.
Sure. All right.
Okay. Cool.
Whenever you're ready.
All right. I'm gonna lead off with Super Mario Galaxy 2. Everybody knows this, the sequel to Mario Galaxy, which is one of the greatest games of all time. Evidence it's not on our list, but if it's a sequel of a great game, it should be a great game. However, Patrick Star, no Rosalina, and kind of lazy levels does not make a game with it has an amazing soundtrack. It has Yoshi. It has very clean platforming, but it just seems lazy overall versus a Galaxy 1, which is kind of a disappointment to such a great game. But if we switch over to Marvel vs. Capcom 2, is a combination of every single Capcom and Marvel fighter before that, like Marvel Superheroes, Marvel vs. Capcom 1. One of the greatest fighting games of all time, created FGC scene with Evo and Street Fighter 2. Has just as good a soundtrack, though more jazzy on the side versus orchestral. Comparison-wise, they both kind of look the same. MVC2 has that comic look, or Super Mario Galaxy 2 has that Wii cartoony look. However, if we're going to go in sheer terms of playability, then MVC2 is still good today when you see Super Mario Galaxy 2. Though you could play it today, once again, it is lacking versus other Mario platformers. But once again, Super Mario Galaxy 2 does have Swamp's Castle. It does have the Super Monkey Ball levels, so you cannot knock at that. But on a side note, since I'm also defending it for Eli, he lost in the speed run to me in Super Mario Galaxy 2. So I'm just saying, how can you defend a game that the person who hates it clearly beat you in it? Right? That's right. But both games, sequels that are great, timeless games, but only one is actually truly timeless, and that's a game you get in your arcade cabinet. My vote's obviously for Marvel, but I tried to, help out Galaxy 2 in there.
Yeah, you did. I'm surprised, actually.
I mean, dude, what is it? Gusty Gulch? The
Gusty Garden
version?
Galaxy, yeah.
Yeah, that's one of dude, that's the first game?
Yeah.
See,
that's why it's better.
Yeah, dude. Wow, the first game. Not only wow, I thought Galaxy
Like
2
my
tried
favorite
to
one
up the
from-
soundtrack.
Oh.
Galaxy 2, the only thing it's got going for it is Brawl in the Family, the review. All right. So.
All right, he gave us his opinion. Matt, who's going next?
All right. You want to go next?
Matt, you want to be the tiebreaker. You know you do, Matt. You know you do. Because where am I going with this vote? Where am I going? I'll just
Going
tell-
Galaxy 2. It's already mad obvious. Like, holy ball snacks. Holy shit balls. All right?
I don't play fighting games enough, so I'm just gonna say, like, if I was still like a young buck getting into the Evo fighting scene like Mike or whatever, getting into competitive tournament play, I'd be more inclined to vote for it. But Marvel vs. Capcom as a series missed me entirely because I was already like, yo, I played Street Fighter. What else is there? Oh, there's Mortal Kombat. Cool. And then I was like, okay, they're all the same. I'm done. Like, and that was it. So, yeah, but I like Galaxy 2 a lot. Mike, famously for newer listeners, does not like Galaxy 2. I don't agree. I think it's an amazing game, and I would gladly vote for it.
Did you 200% that game and get disappointed and want to break your disc in half? Because that's literally what that game is. It's a shame.
I only expect a congratulations scene at the end of a Mario game. So.
Oh gosh. Yeah, but all new Mario games give you a bonus for getting everything. It's just that Secret World is such a disappointment, and I didn't like what they did with the green stars there. They were just like, "Well, play the level and find it." I'm like, that ain't fun. Like,
I just liked the game overall. I never had any of the problems you had with it. I thought it was like an expansion pack for Galaxy 1, which is not a bad thing to me. I mean, I grant that, yeah, I respect your opinion that you thought they were worse. I thought they were pretty much equivalent personally.
I just thought they were lazy. Like, that's the thing. It's just, I thought Galaxy 1 was just so good. I was just like, you know what I mean? Like, when you touch that bad boy and then you just get this. Like,
well, that's my vote, brother. You ain't going to convince me otherwise this time. So,
oh gosh.
Matt?
Yeah, but like in Galaxy 1 also you could be Luigi and save Luigi. Okay?
let me try and figure this out. So you're saying you love Galaxy 2, you love Galaxy 1 even more. Like,
no, I don't like Galaxy 2 at all. Only thing I like about it is the Thwomp. I thought they had good music, and the Matt just told me that the songs I like are not even from it. And I'm like, oh, well, that's pathetic. Pathetic. Skinner meme. But yeah, after that, yeah, dude, I mean, I only really like the Thwomp Forest level now because they remade it from 64. Other than that, the Super Monkey Ball levels are alright. I mean, they're better than the Manta Ray levels in Galaxy 1, but that's 2 levels. Like, whoop-de-dee.
Yep. All right.
All right, man. I delayed long enough for you, brother.
Okay.
Brother.
All right, I guess we'll just
Me
go.
and Clay give each other the Hulk Hogan fist shake.
brother, we need to see what you got to get in here with his match, brother.
Brother. What are you voting for?
All right. I guess we'll start.
What are you calling in, Matt?
So I haven't played Marvel vs. Capcom 2, but I've played 3, and I'll just say that it's comparative enough, whatever, close enough for me. I agree with Mike pretty much for Galaxy 2. I don't like how it's linear compared to the somewhat more open-natured of the first one. I did enjoy Marvel vs. Capcom 3, whatever, 2. Let's just count the same. I don't know. I feel it's unfair because I'm not crazy about fighting games outside Smash because I don't really like combo systems and all that, so I feel like I'm not giving it a fair shake, even though I did enjoy it, like, just as a casual person. On the other side, I think, like, pretty much anyone can get into Galaxy 2, and you could probably get, like, still decent enjoyment out of it, even if it's not, I guess, like a high tier, or even if it's not, like, in the higher echelon of games, it's still, like, a decent enough game. It's just not what I would have wanted them to do. So, I don't know. I'm gonna have to say Galaxy 2 because that's the only one I've like played more, to be fair.
Boo!
I don't know.
You can pick up a game at an arcade and everybody can play it. You guys voted for last
I don't
vote
know.
and now Galaxy 2? Oh gosh. Do you guys even play video games or you just read IGN?
Only the bad
Come
ones.
on. Alright, yeah, basically. You guys just read IGN reviews.
Dun dun dun. And another
Like Clay's
know.
was super obvious. I was like, man, I was like, I understand where you're going from, but I was like, But you can't say that. See, MVC2 was in arcades, unlike MVC3, which was console only.
Sure.
So that means anybody could go to an arcade, put a quarter in, and play the game. And it's such a wide variety of class. It had Mega Man. It's one of the few games to ever have Servbot and Tronbot in it. It's got a lot. It has some unique characters from games I've never even heard of. Okay, like.
I don't know. I
Come
just
on,
don't.
man.
Well, I
You
mean,
can-
it's
you can
difficult
play all
because I
your
don't.
dream characters. You're like, bro, I want Wolverine to play with Ryu. Like, come on. Or
I know,
Ken
that's
Masters,
cool.
the American hero.
Ken's a loser. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know how to fairly like balance them because on a personal wise, like other fighting games, it's like okay, I could play it for a bit, but I wouldn't really stick with it much because it's like I don't really want to get into the nitty gritty of these systems. It's just not for me. But like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I could spend time on a platformer.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
Marvel
even
had
if it's
Marvel.
not,
All
like,
the both
great.
Marvel games also had a story mode. You know.
I
Like,
mean,
you-
story modes are
MVC3 had
just
the story
like
mode.
you play a couple of. Well, it's mostly like you play the same characters and then there's like a boss or two thrown in, right?
Yeah,
I
yeah,
know
yeah.
there's
But
the one at the
that's
end.
more story than Mario Galaxy 2.
I mean, true, but
It's okay. You already voted,
I know.
man. There's no worries.
I know I did buy Marvel vs. Capcom 3 on my on Steam or whatever, so I'll play it eventually
Yeah.
because I do like it. But
The big difference I think with 3 and 2 though, 2 is like the melee of MVC. So
Gotcha.
it's a lot more technical and like it's not as user friendly as like 3, but it's got like it's just like one of those things where it's just like it doesn't really matter. Like I used to play that game before I got good as a casual scum, and I was like, oh, this is the best thing ever. You know what I mean? Like I used to be like just pick like these low tier shitbags and like AAA because you get alpha, beta, or gamma assist version of your combo, and so it's like when you call out like say Cyclops and he does like an uppercut if you do the anti-air one, or he'll do his laser beam if you do projectile, which is the opposite. But I used to play like that, and I was like, yo, what does all this mean? Or like let me see like really good gameplay of this game, and I was like, holy shit, this game's insane. You know what I mean? So it was like stuff like that.
all right.
Everything you like about it is like what pushed me away from fighting games to some degree. You're just much more of a pro gamer, and like I'm casual stuff. Like, you know,
Come on,
I'm
bro.
like,
Brother.
It's just like it's just too hard to learn them, even as someone who plays a lot of video games. Like fighting games just are such a demanding task. Like when they get to that level, and hence the king of fighting games became Smash for a lot of us, and a lot of people turn their backs on the more classic 2D fighting games. They were fun back in the day for me, but there's just no world I find myself interested in them anymore. I'm like just so much time to sink into them. I don't even know what it would take to get me back into a 2D fighter. Like honestly, it's like,
Oh really?
yeah, it's just over for me. I grew up playing them, and it's like, okay, that was great, but then Smash came along, and like I was like, this is the answer. Because up till when I played Brawl for the first time, my first Smash, I was like, I'm done with fighting games entirely. I don't want to play them. Like it's just not interesting to me. Like,
I respect that. Like, dude,
Yeah.
I can't play any other game other than Marvel. Any other
Really?
fighting game. Yeah, I know how you feel. Like it's like I tried like Tekken, like Street Fighter's too slow for me, kind of thing, and I'm just like, yo, I can't do this. Like I just don't want to. But it's like Marvel hit that niche for me, and I was like, oh, like like how you said like Smash hit it for you. Like I mean, I always enjoyed Smash and had it, but like Marvel hit that niche where I was like, oh, this game I just want to get better, and it's just so cool. MVC
it's
2.
very famous. It's very famously one of the most famous fighting games ever. So you're not in small.
Yeah. I know it's not like, oh, well, never heard of MVC 2. It's just like you go to an arcade, dude. It's in Barcade now. MVC 2. Like I'm like, damn, that means I'm old, but you know what I mean? Like,
Welcome to the old school.
yeah, I was
And
like, you can't put this next to Mist Pac-Man. How dare you? You know what I mean? But
It's so funny because I'm coming from the other side. I'm like, look at this new trash up in this place. Like, what do they got?
you're like, why is this next to my Strider arcade cabinet? Right?
Strider? That's some new trash right there too. I don't want to play that. That's too new.
Oh
for
my
me.
god, you bro.
You're like, if it's not at
alright?
least 30 years old, it's garbage and it's too new.
Man, it's got like fancy graphics. I can't stand it. Look at these graphics. They're too good.
I'm like, oh god, almost 32-bit. Too good. All right, but where do you stand? Where do you stand on arcade cabinet beat 'em up side scrollers? Is it on the 6-man ones or in the 4-man ones.
I play them. Like, I mean, you're talking X-Men when you say 6-man.
X-Men,
I mean, like,
Simpsons, or TMNT. Which one do you
I mean,
go?
they're fun. They're fun. Like I'd say this. Most of my friends that I hang out with like them more than me because I kind of get bored of them because I've played them so many times. I'm like, I literally played this like 20 times when I was a kid, much less like now. You know, like so. I find them fun. You know, like they're all right. Like they're people worship them. So I'm always down for a game of it if people are hanging out because it is fun to play together.
I think it's fun to play with the squad. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't play that game solo.
Yep,
Yeah, they're meant
agreed.
for multiplayer.
Yeah, like if like all the podcast was there and like, all right, we all got 50 cents or a quarter. I'm like, all right, we're doing this. You know what I mean?
And we're making Eli B. Raphael.
Yeah, oh, of course, bro. 100%. I'm like, yo, Eli, you just gotta get really close. Don't worry, you're gonna die, but just get really close.
Hit him.
You gotta be so close your pixels are overlapping.
Yeah, exactly. Raphael, like pixel lap, we call that guy. That's right. Good stuff.
All right.
Good stuff, Matt.
So,
You're derailing
we'll
your carefully planned podcast.
All right, so we'll move on to what we've been playing. And I've been playing the... well, actually, what happened? No, I beat God of War. I think that was last week anyway. Yeah, I did. I beat Splitter Critters, which I was pretty much close to anyway. Nothing much to say because I was close enough to beating it last time, so just check it out. It's like $8 or something, so worth checking out. But this week I started playing Mario & Rabbids the DK Adventure DLC, and oh man, it's just such a fun game to play. Once, like when you originally start the game, it'll take a bit to get used to wrap your mind around how the mechanics work and everything, but once you do, it's like putting on a glove. You're like, I remember how to do all this. This is a good feeling. I'm having fun. But they do change up quite a bit. The enemies are like the same models, but they have different like attributes and stuff. But because you have Rabbid Cranky and Donkey Kong, they actually change up the mechanics quite a bit. So if a team jump is when one character jumps on another to either gain higher ground or just move for a further distance. And if Rabbid Cranky does that, he'll actually like shoot his shotgun or his bow and arrow in the air, which has like a wide range of effect, so he can actually hit people in the air and then land.
Rabbid Cranky? There's no Rabbid. I thought there was Rabbid Donkey Kong, or it's regular Donkey Kong, Rabbid Cranky, and Rabbid Peach.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then there's a Rabbid Donkey Kong like as a boss. But
does Donkey Kong meet Rabbid Donkey Kong?
Yeah. They do that in this a lot. So yeah, Rabbid Cranky does that.
It's funny when you say it. I keep thinking you're talking about Rabid, like he's rabid, like drooling saliva. I'm like,
no, Donkey Kong.
Yeah, Rabbid Donkey Kong. No, get the shotgun.
Give him a shot.
Yeah.
Totally. Okay, so Rabbid, because like my brain kept getting confused. I'm like, is this a version of Donkey Kong I'm not aware of? Like, okay, gotcha.
Yeah. But and then the interesting thing with Donkey Kong is he can't do a team jump, and they kind of made a joke. They're like, well, he's kind of heavy. He would squish the other people if he jumped on them. So rather than jump on them, he'll actually like carry them with him, and then he can actually throw them a further distance. So it has like the same kind of effect, but you can move them like even more. So you can like, what I can do is use Donkey Kong, grab Cranky, run with Donkey Kong, throw Cranky like farther away, and then he does a shotgun, and then he can also move. So it gives you a lot of range in that case. And the interesting thing is, since Donkey Kong can't jump on top of people, he can actually climb up the higher ledges instead. So if you wanted to gain a higher ledge before, you had to jump on a teammate's head to jump on there. But Donkey Kong can just like climb up it because that's what he does. And then there's also like little pads that he can jump off to swing on branches, like to get to other areas too. So he actually has like a lot of mobility, even though he can't like jump. So they change it up in a lot of ways that makes it interesting.
Doesn't it strike you as odd that a giant gorilla can't jump on people? That strikes a little odd. Like I'm like, interesting choice.
I mean, not without killing them is their reasoning. Well,
gotcha.
It's funny because Cranky is actually like pretty big and fat, and he jumps on like Rabbid Peach, which is pretty small. So it's like, okay, he's totally gonna crush her, but sure, maybe not. Whatever.
Right. Gotcha. I've never having played it. I know it's like kind of a grid-based tactical game or whatever, but it's
Yeah.
just funny to hear it described out loud. It's like he's a gorilla, right? One of their primary attributes is leaping, right? Like, not every character can jump. I'm not even aware of the mechanics of the game fully, so that I understand they have to limit it in some form. So,
But yeah, no, I don't know how long it is. I think someone said it's like 7 or 8 hours. I don't know how far I'm into it. I think I'm halfway because I beat 2 bosses, and I think there's 4 worlds, something like that. But yeah, I'm really liking it.
Would you recommend? How much did it cost to download this? $20?
Yeah, $20.
Is it 20? And you'd recommend it as someone who like already loved the original game that it came from, right?
Yeah, if you like the original, then you'll like this. I wouldn't say like more the same seems as if they're not doing anything different, but I mean like if what you liked about the first one is here, but they change it quite a bit, that it makes it interesting anyway.
Gotcha. Cool. Yeah, not a game for me, as we've talked about before, but it's one of those things like maybe someday, if somehow there are no games at all to play, which does not look likely anytime soon, and I saw it's the kind of game I'd like pick up and try just for a few minutes and then be like, yeah, this isn't for me, but I'm always excited.
That's where Blockbuster would come in handy.
Yeah.
Right, man. Like to the kids listening out there, it was a place you could go and rent things. You wouldn't understand. It's like GameFly, only it was a store.
Yeah, and not as expensive and stupid.
And pretty bad, yeah. But if you waited till they were going out of business, you could get Earthbound box for like $10.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and then you basically you win. Like you should have did that. You should have just waited for Blockbuster to go out of business, and then you should have bought all your games from there. And then boom, you would have been a rich collector.
Yeah, you would have been all set. But what are you going to do? You could have also got all the Virtual Boy games in there for real cheap, and you would have very little more money than you have when you started.
Yeah.
Unless you got Waterworld, then you'd be set. But valuable game. So, cool. What else have you been playing, Matt?
That was it.
That's it?
Yeah.
You slacker.
I was working on stuff.
I thought you were playing games these days, man. I thought you're a gamer, man. Only one game.
Hey, I was playing.
He's playing games minus the S, bro.
Right? Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. He's playing game.
He played game.
I was playing it outside in the nice, cool breeze.
Oh, look at you.
It was nice with the Switch. And at one point, I'm just like, well, not really traveling. I was just out in the backyard. But I was like, you know what? I'm going to be here a while. I'm just going to set up the TV. That's how the Switch works, right? You're supposed to bring a 32-inch TV with you everywhere.
Yeah. You plug it on the outside. That's what Clay did when he camped with his Switch. He's like, hold on, guys, hold up. He's like, I don't camp, I glamp.
True that. You got to glamp these days.
I mean, the only way you'd ever get me, a pure New Yorker, outside is if I would glamp. I would never camp like a peepee in a wild.
You kill me. That's funny. Good stuff. Good stuff.
Well, Mike, apparently you've been playing a lot, so why don't you tell us what you've been playing?
Nothing. Nope, I haven't been playing anything.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. All right. So Clay's next. All right. So I've been playing a lot of this Nintendo. Not sure if you guys heard of them, but basically I bought Mario Tennis. I bought Ys 8, the Crisima of Dana, and I also played that Pokemon iPhone game while I'm on the toilet.
Oh, is that what you were doing for?
That was clearly
why the podcast.
Yeah, I was like, hold on, I need to. No, I didn't play today. I only play when I wake up because I'm like, I should really do things. And then I'm like, but I could also waste time. But so what do you want to hear first? The Pokemon game? Cool. What's the name of it again, though? I still don't know the name of it. Oh, okay. I thought it was Pokemon like Story or Blocks or something. Okay, so that's what they look like. Okay, so that game is really stupid. I don't know. Really iPhone-y. I mean, I enjoy it for the 5 minutes I play it, and then I'm like, I would never play past the 5 minutes I played. Like, it's a lot of like auto attack shit. Like, you don't really do too much. Like, I mean, it's got a really good soundtrack, and it's kind of fun. I mean, it's way more fun than and with that stupid what's the name of the thing the kids play?
Pokemon.
Animal Crossing.
Oh.
Yeah. It's like that's what Clay played. He would vote for Animal Crossing over Marvel.
Hell no, dude. Sims, hell no. Get that out of my face.
But yeah, I enjoy it. I mean, I never paid for anything. I don't recommend paying. It's like, I mean, I'm just playing at a leisure pace. But it's not like terrible. Like, I mean, I think it's one of the better iPhone games out of all of them. I mean, I didn't play the Fire Emblem one, which I think everyone says it's the best one anyway. But yeah, I enjoyed it. I mean, if you're a fan of Pokemon, give it a shot. Like it gives me like a Kirby vibe with the music and the way it looks. But yeah, not a must have. I'm just waiting for that Mario Kart judge. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, that's.
Nah, I mean, son. All right. My Mario Kart 3DS isn't the best thing on the planet. I'm gonna be complaining to Red. Okay. Mario Tennis. I just beat the story mode actually.
Oh really? Okay, there you go.
Yeah. I literally just beat it like yesterday. Story mode's pretty quick. I think it's a good intro into what Mario Tennis is. And what I mean by saying that is like you play the story mode and it helps you understand Mario Tennis aces. They have simple mode and they have the aces mode. I'll just call it, which is the standard mode. All right, so. With the story mode, you kind of understand how to block like the supers, how to use your supers, you know what I mean? Stuff like that. It's not like anything crazy. Story's not, it's a basically Mario sports story where it's like none of this makes sense kind of thing. It's just pretty stupid. But I mean, I enjoyed it. I play online. I play as much as I can with it. I think the game's just a great game overall. Like it's not, anything like where it's. It is what it is. It's a multiplayer game you're gonna play online. I mean, I have more fun when I play with it, like each day with it. And I can't wait to play with my friends when I get home. So I don't recommend it for the full 60. I mean, I got it for $5 off. Whoop-de-doo, but you know what I mean? Like, still $5 off. But yeah, I would tell people to pick it up if it was like $30 or $40. Like it's really fun. So.
Right on. That's a really good review. Like my friend that got it seemed to like it too. Like he was playing it a good bit online. It seemed like he's trying to talk me into get it, and I was kind of like,
yeah, dude, like even for like a schlump like me who's only played Mario 64 tennis, Mario Tennis 64. There's simple mode for that, but like I find myself having more fun with the like the new controls of it too. Like it's not like it's what's the best way to say it? Too overwhelming. It's just kind of like it's a fun game, dude. Like it's really fun. Like I haven't got to play doubles with my friends. Like I mean, everything about it is just cool. Like it's classic Nintendo fun. Like the last real like Nintendo-esque game Nintendo-esque sports game I played like that was Mario Tennis. No, not Mario Tennis. Was Mario? I usually play Mario Baseball, but yeah, I do recommend playing this game before Super Mario Party comes out because that's gonna be the new best game of the year.
Yeah, I heard the mechanics are like really well done. It's just that they didn't put in enough content, which kind of blows.
Yeah, they're gonna add more characters. Somebody data mine. Yeah. Rumor is it's going to be Diddy, Birdo, and another one.
Yeah,
I forgot the third. And then this month, you get Koopa Troopa if you play online. Next month, you get Blooper. But honestly, when you play the story mode, you also fight against the Fire Bro. You fight against like two other characters. You got Kamek Koopa. I mean, not Kamek, just Kamek. I said Kamek Koopa. Yeah, and so like those characters probably are going to be in the game if you think about it because
they're all
you fight against them in story mode. You know what I mean? It's not like
they have everything there.
So, let's see. Oh, and the last game, the Ys game. Honestly, I really like Ys. I think it's one of the better RPGs, especially for people if people don't like RPGs and want to get into RPGs and want to give it a shot. It's the game I recommend. It's the best way to describe it is grinding is not a chore. Everybody knows JRPGs require grinding. However, in Ys, it's just so fun, dude. Like while you explore the world, you're grinding because it's like if Earthbound was an action RPG. You know what I mean? You see the enemies everywhere. You can engage them. You can use your abilities at all times. Like the story's just enough to get you engaged, but you can kind of skip over it because it's not text heavy. The action of it is just like there's no other way to describe it other than it's too damn good. Like it's just everything I'm doing in the game, it just feels like you can't accidentally do something. Okay, everything is based off your own skill of this game, which makes it even more fun. Like you could flash guard, you could dodge roll, and if you do it at a perfect time, if you do it at the exact perfect time, you get like extra bonuses in the game. Like, oh, I guard at the perfect time, so now I can use my skills for 5 seconds infinitely, kind of thing, you know. But
Cool.
shit like that, like it's just a very fun game to get into. That it's not a hassle. Like it's not like Xenoblade where it's too text heavy and boring and not fun. Like Xenoblade is all auto attacks as well. If I'm gonna compare the two, like Xenoblade is completely outclassed by this game, and that's the best way I could say it. Like it's. Oh, you go on.
Oh, yeah, I was gonna say, like, what makes this different from, I guess, some other JRPG or.
Well,
like I'm just
okay,
thinking, like I know what the basics of a JRPG are, and then like what I guess makes that.
Okay,
this
no, that's a
game
great
good.
question. So, okay, JRPGs used to be the things Clay hates, turn-based kind of shit.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
like he does. Like we'll use Clay as our first example. Like Clay doesn't like OG Final Fantasy. He does not like active time battle where the thing waits. You select your attack and you do something per that. Clay hates that. Okay. Clay likes Secret of Mana, I believe. Correct.
That's all right. Like,
Sure, we'll
if
go
I
with
had
it.
to pick,
Yeah.
I'd like.
So it's only okay. Good. Now we have a basis. So Clay finds Secret of Mana all right. Why? Because you can't freely attack and explore in that game. Am I correct? Because I mean I've played Secret of Mana, so you're limited. You have to attack, but you can't be like let me spam A like spam like Link. You know what I mean? You cannot do it like that. Okay?
It's more like an action RPG. That's what I like more about it. If
Exactly.
you want.
And so that's what Ys is. Ys is like the pinnacle action RPG. So this used to be when I compared the Project Rainfall to all 3 games, where I said Pandora's Tower was like really akin to an action RPG with platforming, but the last story was the truest action RPG out of all of them. And Xenoblade is the fakest. It is not an action RPG. Xenoblade acts like it's an action RPG because it has auto attack and you do your skill specials at any time. But the game is just based off you doing auto attacks to get the skill attack, which is not fun. You're just walking around the map. Hey, I'm 30 feet away from you. I can still backslash you from here. You know what I mean? Like, that's not an action RPG. With Kingdom Hearts, that's an action RPG. You dodge roll. You have active magic. You're constantly battling enemies. It's an open world. Now, it's the same thing with Ys, except Ys, Kingdom Hearts might have a little bit more platforming, where Ys is a bit more map exploration. But the thing is, though, the map exploration is not in the sense where it's like, oh my god, I can't go this way. This sucks. It tells you constantly where you should go, so you don't feel like a complete dumbass. Okay? It tells you where all the side optimal quests are on the map at the same time, and you're constantly switching between your 3 parties, like your 3 members. You don't have to ever switch if you don't want to, and you're just playing the game. You're not too weak of a level to do anything. You're like, oh, I can't get through here because I don't have this or that. Like you play, you know where you're going, and it's just the gameplay's alluring enough where it's just like I just want to keep going. I just want to keep killing things or this and that. Like it's not where it's like, oh, I'm stuck here. I don't want to play anymore. I've never felt that. Sometimes I'm just like, holy shit, like I need to stop. Like it's like that. It's like I could just keep going, man. Like
right on.
And that's like the best way to explain it. It is not those moments when you're playing an RPG and you're like, I'm stuck here, like in Pokemon, or any Final Fantasy or like Blade. I don't need to grind to get better because I'm technically always at the right level each dungeon is. I went to a dungeon I was under leveled and I still won because I'm good enough action wise. You know what I mean? Like I have good enough hand reaction skills, and that's fine. You don't have to be that. Like. I think that's the best part about this game. You're rewarded not only for like your level and who you fight, but you're also rewarded for just general base game skills, dude.
Right on, man. So, in other words, like you're kind of done with like Xenoblade, and you're just gonna be like,
yeah, I don't know how I'm gonna go back to Xenoblade. Like, I mean, I never really liked Xenoblade, if I'm gonna be honest. Like, Xenoblade 2 has a very interesting story, and that's the only thing keeping me hooked. But I don't find myself like I told you, I fall asleep playing that game. Like, I mean, but Ys and Mario Tennis, my sleep schedule is all messed up, dude. Like, no, I gotta go back to Xenoblade so I could go to sleep at freaking 1 a.m., 2 a.m. again.
Oh my god.
Not to knock on Xenoblade, but it's not a real action RPG, man.
Right.
Shots
That's
fired.
not.
No,
It doesn't sound like it's what you're looking for right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like honestly, like that's why I feel bad that you never really got to play Clay. But I'm like, this is probably the action RPG that'd be the one that you wanted to play, where it's not like grinding and text reading. Like sometimes I miss the text and it's like, oh, it's all right. Like I didn't really miss anything important, you know.
That's
So.
cool. Nice. Well, very
Nice
good.
summer.
Very good. Very
Yeah,
good.
it'll probably be real cheap later on. Then I'll be like, all right, pick it up then. Like I picked it up, and then since remember this game had problems actually when it came out. I thought it didn't come out for Vita. It's the only reason why I have it on Switch actually. And yeah, it's the only reason I have it on Switch. And apparently it did come out for Vita, PC, and PS4. But the problem is it had a lot of problems, like because Xseed didn't get to they didn't do the translations for the game. They hired like another company and they messed up and like, oh shit, we should just did Xseed. But then it got all fixed up and then I got like a little extra bonus. Like they gave me like a map of the game and like all the DLC that came out for free on the Switch. So that's the difference. We get it on Switch, you get all the DLC for free, which is like just costume stuff and you know what I mean. Not
so
anything
cool.
like, oh, here's the game-winning sword. You know what I mean? Like so.
Cool.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
I do recommend. This is like the one game like I'm like if you're gonna get into an RPG, play this. If it's not Kingdom Hearts, but Kingdom Hearts might be a little late to get into. So.
Yep. I'm impressed because I was gonna ask you partway through like, well, what console are you playing this on? And I didn't even remember this came out for Switch. I mean, we're living in a world where I was sitting here assuming you were playing it on like PS4 or something. And it's
yeah, it came out on PS4 like 6 months ago. That's the main difference.
Okay.
Yeah,
So,
like I said before, this actually came out. I didn't know it came out for Vita. Otherwise, I would have got it on Vita a while ago. But yeah, when I heard it was coming to Switch, it's like I was like, oh, let me just get it then because. Yeah, it was a really easy call because I really thought it wasn't out for Vita. It's like this is a perfect handheld game, and boom, gotta like that. But other than that, the next one I recommend before you start to go is Disgaea 1. If you guys don't play this, but that's tactical RPG. But yeah. This is the game. This is the Clay RPG recommendation. So.
Maybe someday if I run out of games again.
Dude, yeah, if I finish it, and nobody wants it, I'll just ship it over on a Christmas or something, bro. And you'll just have it. You know what I mean? Like no harm done.
And I'd feel guilty then. And then I'd be like, oh god, this.
Nah, bro, it's okay. It just sending it over. Sometimes I just look at these games and I'm like, man, I don't like. I'm like looking at. I have Gravity Rush 2 and I've been trying to sell it. Like nobody's buying it. And I'm just like, man, I should. Like if I could just like, I'm like thinking, I'm like, does Matt want this? Maybe I'll just send it to him. Sometimes I just want to like give people like, my boy wants to play Xenoblade 2 and I'm like, yo, I'll give it to you when I get back home. And granted, I haven't finished it, and then I'm just like, I could just give it to him. Like no harm, no foul. Like just doesn't really like. It's got no appeal to me right now.
What a guy! What a guy!
Dude, wait, Clay, did you get crashed? That's actually a legit question. Not yet.
No. I wanted to clarify for the listeners who might not know what game Mike was talking about for the last 5 minutes, but it's Y. It's just the letter Y.
YS. Okay, like
saying E's, and it's like, well, what is that?
How do you spell that?
Yeah.
It's just like a
look up Y apostrophe S. Like it's been around since like the Clay days, right? So
since the 80s for real. It's been around forever. It's a long running series. While you were talking, I was looking at the timeline of games and I'm like, I was trying to figure out which one I tried to play and wouldn't load onto my computer when I was a kid, and it was like, man, holy crap, that was like 1988 or something like that. Like it was called Y's Book 1 and 2, like E's.
Yeah, I didn't believe it was an 80s game, man. I thought this was like one of those like mid 2000 RPGs, but yeah, man, like
it's like a Nintendo franchise, like Nintendo, same thing, running since the 80s, so same kind of thing. So
I think it's just crazy, like just to have a series alive like that long. Like I mean, when you think 80s games, you think like what, Mega Man, Mario, Donkey Kong, you know what I mean? Like
right, Nintendo basically.
Yeah. You don't think freaking Yeez too, bro. Like
you never just sit there and think Yeez. You're like no.
You're like Pac-Man, dude. I know. You're like nah, bro.
I'm gonna play some Pac-Man, and because it's from the 80s, and then.
I don't remember if I asked you this, but Super Pac-Man 2, right?
Jeez, I get confused.
The Adventures of Pac-Man. Super Nintendo?
The one where it's like an RPG kind of where you like solve puzzles with them and stuff like that.
And you have to slingshot him. Okay, good. As long as you you're like Pac-Man. Good look, and he just like looks at you. Okay, I hate Pac-Man.
new adventures. Yeah, it's terrible.
It's one of the worst. Dude, they did a speed run on it. And I was like, how do you speed run a game where you can't control the guy? But I was actually really interested in it. It was only like
It's
30-minute speed run.
I have it for Genesis. It's like really funny to play as a laugh, like because it's so goofy. But yeah, don't go expecting. Like, here's an idea: we have the world's most successful video game property. Let's make it into an unplayable, messy game that's nothing like the first one. Good idea, right? Like,
yeah, perfect. You know.
So
you see Pac-Man, you're like, oh, I love it. Used to play this, and then you get this game, and you're just like, what the hell is this?
Like,
I was just wondering. It was on my YouTube feed, and I was like,
game. Yeah.
okay.
Well,
I have one, dude. Remind me when I fly back home, because I'm probably gonna miss the podcast on Monday because I'm gonna be flying. But
I guess we're delaying that one.
Yeah, definitely delay that one. But yeah, remind me so I could tell you about that Purple Alien Super Nintendo game. I keep trying to tell people.
Oh, Day of the Tentacle.
No, is it?
No.
Is it?
Yeah,
You better be
by LucasArts.
Dave the Tentacle.
Yeah, the Day of the Tentacle.
One of
There's
the
some
No,
other word
it's not it. It's not
Oh,
it.
it's
No.
not?
It's on
Okay.
Super Nintendo, and it's a purple alien. Okay? And it's the worst platform I've ever played. I played for 2 hours. I swear, I beat 7 levels. Fought the final boss, and apparently that was only World 1. Okay? I was so mentally drained that I was like, are you shitting me? Like, I literally turned off my Super Nintendo and put it in the back of my Super Nintendo cartridge catalog so I would not see it anymore. That's
my
how
gosh.
bad it was. Okay? Like,
put it in
once
the-
I find it, I need to know
I put it
if
in the
someone else
chat.
suffered.
It might be Super Widget. It's like a Hanna-Barbera.
Oh my god, that might be it! Oh my god. Super Widget. Oh my god, this is it! How do you know this garbage?
I just Googled it. I said Super Nintendo Purple Alien.
Holy shit, yeah, this is the game. This is the worst game of all time.
I'm not familiar with Super Widget. I'll have to play it stat.
Dude, I will send you that with these one day. Holy shit, dude.
It looks like hot garbage at a quick glance, but I gotta try it.
I didn't know Atlas made this. Oh god. See what they did before they made Persona? You know, I mean.
Good times.
Oh my gosh. All right, so.
All right, boys, that's everything I've been playing. Sorry for taking up so
Oh
much
no, that's
time.
fine. There's not really news so much, so do whatever we
Did
feel
you
like.
did you see the links I gave, Clay? The Labo Switch? I know you didn't look at the Discord, so it's been there for a while, but
No, I haven't.
Oh yeah, that Nintendo's doing a contest for Labo Switch.
Oh,
so.
I heard about that. Yeah, I heard about the
Yeah,
contest.
and they're giving you a Labo Switch, and I think that's lit.
I know. Yeah, that looks rad. Like the cardboard flavored,
Mhm.
like
Fully.
Mhm.
Switch. Yeah. I wish. I
I hope they don't do a Sony and just make it available though. Like, you know what I mean? Like Nintendo's usually good about these things, but like they're like, all right, you guys got this. You guys won this. We're not gonna make it for sale. Sony will be like, yo, limited edition PS4. That's PS1. Here's the controller version of you guys and everything else about it. Like, bitch, that shit was exclusive.
Definitely.
Oh, and then the other thing I sent, I don't think we're gonna talk about, but it's so somebody made a demake of Captain Toad, and you can play it, and it's a
cool.
NES version of Captain Toad, and Jonathan Holmes kind of talks about it, and then he actually brings up a good point. He goes, instead of releasing Nintendo games we've played all the time, why don't they try to demake some games like how they did with Breath of the Wild, the demo, for the the game developer demo,
Yeah.
and why don't they start trying to do something like that? So it's technically an ode to their old systems, but we're also getting new content.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Huh.
A way to remix their games.
Like Mario 3D Land, but like 16-bit, like Super Mario World or something. You know what I mean? Like that kind of style, or something demake. Like the Captain Toad thing worked. Like, I mean, I don't really know how game development engines work today, but shit like that has worked.
Oh, that'd be neat. Definitely be.
Alrighty.
Yeah.
I'd be more up for that than ports, but I don't think ports are gonna happen. But
Yeah.
Unoclay, was there anything you wanted to talk about that you played this week?
I played some games, but it was mostly more of the same. I played some more of the Fortnite, and just giving that to you guys since you guys are fit. That's about.
I think I respect this man.
You know, I've been playing a bunch of that. My friend was shooting a rock video the other day. Actually, funny story. Like, I'll make that what I've been playing. My friend was shooting a rock video for his band the other day, and we were there were a lot of extras there. It was like a whole bunch of people. They needed people to like roller skate in the background, like in a roller rink, while they were shooting like their band playing in the middle of the roller rink.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was one of the extras. So there were a lot of people there that I knew, and then some people I didn't know. The one guy brought his kids to like skate in the video as extras, and like I know him because we've played Smash Brothers together before, and I don't know his kids ever before, and like I'm just making small talk, and he's like, "What you been playing lately?" And I'd be like, "Oh, I've been trying that." How would Mike put it? That young Fortnite, and the kids, you should have seen them light up. These like 8-year-olds were so pumped to talk to an adult about Fortnite that it was like I was thinking of you guys. I was like, oh, it is a kid game. Like they are like pamped. They want to talk. They want some hints. I was like, no, you're probably better than me. I got nothing here. Like, but then we were trading some things we saw in the game that we had never seen anyone do before. So it was pretty funny. And their dad was like a guy like my age. He's like, wait, you play this game too? And I'm like, it's a pretty big phenomenon. I was like, it's pretty big. And he's like, I haven't even looked at it yet. I'm like, it's really violent. Like, I don't know if your little kids like should be playing this game or not, or whatever. But
you got kindergartners playing this game. It's fine. It's actually a global problem in schools right now.
I mean, at least they're not walking in the street like Pokemon Go.
Yeah,
they're
not Fortnite going in the middle of the street at night, right? So.
Yep. No, but we were talking about that. That was funny. So, no, nothing. I got back into Binding of Isaac. Fell into an Isaac hole for a couple days, like where classic me. You just can't let go of that game. That game won't let go of you. That's kind of like gaming news that you tweeters like might have spotted, or maybe you didn't. But the guy that designed Binding of Isaac, kind of an amazing gaming story. He you haven't played it. I think you guys are fairly familiar with what it is. It's a roguelike. It's got literally hundreds of items in it. Part of the fun of the game is that every time you play it, it's different. And it's always like you're always finding new items and new weapons. You can play it. I've played 100 hours and I'll get dealt new weapons and new items. And it doesn't feel cheesy. It feels like really well designed the whole time. So when you get a new item, it feels like a real accomplishment. Stuff's always unlocking on the game, etc. I'm still finding new bosses and new encounters, like with enemies and different enemy types unlock the longer and longer you play it, or depending on the conditions of the game that you finished. So that's literally still happening at plus 100 hours. It'll like say so and so this new enemies appeared, this new items appeared. So I fell back into an Isaac hole recently after I saw on Twitter that the point of all this is that the game is perfectly made in such a way that the idea struck the creator. It's like a kind of a one-man team kind of game. He thought the good idea would be to make a card game out of it, like a playing card, like Magic, the Gathering type game. And he put the idea out on Twitter, and then I think he put up some kind of crowdfunding campaign where he said, I think to get this produced, I'm roughly estimating like 300 cards. It would take a while to balance it all and build the game and make quality cards and everything like that. I need $100,000 or something like that. I'm ballparking, but that was roughly what I think I heard. And within like 2 hours, he got $900,000, almost $1 million.
Oh my gosh!
Because
I'm looking.
That's Isaac in a nutshell. It's like his Twitter feed is constantly people like the game has a really, really hardcore cult following. Like hardly anything you see. Like one of the main things is people posting pictures of them getting tattoos of the game on their body. Like that's how devoted it is. Yeah, it's kind of like hard to describe unless you're kind of into the game. Like how it kind of hooks you and gets in your head in this way. And I kind of get it from playing it a lot, but like the fan base is really devoted. And if there's any testament you need, it's that, like in 2 hours, you could read it in his comments that this is a regular guy, like nothing special. He designed one really, really, really successful game and a few other things that are like far less successful, I think. I'm not quite sure, but like,
well, you only need one success, dude.
And then, and people give you $1 million in a couple hours. Like, just like, here's $1 million. Like,
he asked for 50 grand.
It's not like he's taking it, you know what I mean? Like, look, he's proven he could do something with that, you know what I mean? With that,
Exactly. Proven himself. It's like, he's supported Isaac for basically free, like Shovel Knight style, for a really long time, where he's always tweaking with the formula. He's always releasing new, like, data, new packs, like kind of like all kinds of stuff. Like the Switch version doesn't seem to get that stuff. I think it's more like for the PC version. Like, so I'm not always up on like what he's doing. Kind of like it's not like being doled out to every system. I think the primary way people are getting like different things he's unloaded, like kind of free like open sourcey type stuff where he's like changing the game or offering up stuff that you can download. So yeah, he's proven himself, and it's just like one of those great success stories that you're really happy for someone. You're like, wow, like holy crap, you know. And then he's like, I better get designing this thing. You guys give me money. Like, so Matt, what were the details exactly? You said it was like 50,000 or something.
Yeah, he asked for 50,000 and he got 1.1 million, and there's still like it's halfway through, so there's 17 days left.
Yeah, it was literally
It's
like
insane.
2 hours, and I saw my Twitter feed blow up so bad that I couldn't look at it. It was just like when Twitter explodes something, and it's like you're getting hundreds of posts a minute, and it was because he made like these jokey tiers that were really funny, like where it was like, if you guys send me this much money or do whatever, then I'll do something else. And he was making like, it almost seemed like he was trolling the audience. Like he's like, the one I was looking at was like, if you walk up to random people in public and film yourself just telling them about Binding of Isaac, I'll do this. Like I need like 100 people to send me videos of you talking to random strangers about Binding of Isaac.
Oh my god!
And people were just doing it, just like just posting
That's
hundreds
great.
and hundreds of like links of them doing it. You know, that are like, yeah, this is how much we like this game. Like we want you to do more with Isaac.
That's
because
crazy.
I think the idea of like sequeling it hasn't been on the table. It's more like a single project type thing. And so he's not sure what he wanted to work on next. So this card game kind of came along, and he's like, I just had the idea. It would make a good card game. Let's see what happens. Would people like this? And the answer is yes. People would like this. So yeah.
Yes,
So it was
cool.
kind of cool. So I fell back into an Isaac hole for the last couple of days because it reminded me how much I like the game, and was like, and there goes another like 20 hours of my life, like instantly, just like.
Hey man, you
virtually.
can be, dude. I'm glad you're. That's like people who are Kojima fans, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like they. I'm pretty sure he said like, "Yo, I'm gonna do this," and everyone's like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'm glad. Like, yeah, everyone's got those kind of like those followers.
Yeah.
I think that's me with Tetsuya Nomura too. Also, dude. You know what I mean? Like, no matter what he does, I'm like, oh, he made Kingdom Hearts and he's helping out Final Fantasy. Gotta help out on his crazy zipper JRPG game coming up. You know what I mean? But that's cool, man. I like that. I like that.
I was like, I was even talking to those, closing out my section there. Yeah, I was talking to those kids about what do I play, because they wanted to know. They were like young kids, and they were like, well, what do you play on the Switch? You know, and I was talking about Zelda. The one kid's like, I finished Zelda 4 times already, and I'm like, oh, I'm only finishing it my first time because I'm an adult and I have a job. How do you like those apples?
Yeah, but did you tell him how you're a plebeian Maz bitch and you haven't played Mario Odyssey? And they're like,
oh my
you're
gosh,
screwed up.
yeah.
I did.
Totally
Their dad
forgot.
even was like, "That's insane. You haven't played Odyssey yet?" And I'm like, "No, I'm sort of saving it or something. I don't know." I was like, just get to it eventually, you know. But
Dude, you're missing out so much, man.
I'm not missing out at all. I like maybe when I finish Zelda.
You're gonna have
Then
so many
that's
costumes available.
Yeah, I don't even know what you're talking about. I didn't know there's costumes in the game. That's amazing.
Yeah.
I'm
my
only
gosh.
sort of kidding.
We're
It's
still
like
gonna-
you're like, yeah, you're like costumes. That's in that. That's
I'm
crazy.
like, I figured he has like the little leaf to give himself a raccoon tail. I know how it works. I played Mario before, you know. I know how it works. Get the raccoon tail, fly around in the sky, or the cape. I'll accept the cape. All right, Matt. I talked
So
enough.
it's-
What else? What kind of news is in the news this week? The news.
Get on some news. So it's just a bunch of random collection of stuff. Some will be shorter, some will be longer.
what
So
she said.
yeah, there's a bunch of games that have been announced. Just even on this pod, like while recording, Wasteland 2. I haven't really looked at it much, but apparently that's coming to Switch. Skullgirls, the 2D fighting game, is coming to Switch. It's like the whatever ultimate kind of edition. It's called Second Encore. I don't know, whatever. I'm sure if they had DLC, it's all in there and all that stuff. That one game that they showed off at the Switch launch that was supposed to be a launch title and then got delayed forever, called Pocket Rumble, is out. It's a Neo Geo looking fighting game. Yeah,
Yeah,
it looks
everybody
kind
was
of cool
about that game,
but-
weren't they? I kind of forget it. I
What was the
Yeah.
name of it again? What was the name?
Pocket Rumble.
Pocket Rumble.
Yeah, it
I
was
can't
supposed to be
remember it
like a
being-
launch window, and then it got delayed to like summer, and then like they went quiet for a while,
Okay.
and now it's out.
What was it that made everyone like like the look of that game? I can't quite picture it. Like I just
Here, I'll send you a
remember.
link of it. So I
just remember
up here,
Everybody
like
was paying attention to it.
just
Wait,
based on one of the
Skullgirls is coming to
developers.
Switch?
Yeah, it
Skullgirls
is.
is coming. Okay, cool. Yeah, somebody just wrote that's lit. They're
Nice. Yeah, I guess Pocket Rumble looks like it's a pixelated game, but apparently, according to the devs, it looks like based on like Neo Geo games. So that's what kind of gives it, I guess, a more unique look. I haven't played Neo Geo, so I can't really tell the difference, but it definitely looks different enough. I don't really know what's
Neo Geo. Think Metal Slug. If you're thinking Neo Geo, that's what I always think. Like it's got a very specific. Like
I thought Metal Slug was that was an arcade game.
It was, but it was like let me make sure. Neo Geo, yeah, it was on Neo Geo. That's the only reason I associate it with that. I can't say if it was originally on there. Anyway, we're getting derailed. It's unimportant.
Yeah.
I know I associate the game with Neo Geo because that's the one I would always see on it in the arcade when Neo Geo cabinets were
like
around
Neo Geos are expensive, right? Like that's the thing what makes this so rare. Like it's like, oh, Nintendo's getting these Neo Geo games, and like the only way you could play them is you buy those little like Neo Geo systems. Neo
Geo back in the day was a very, very expensive system. It was like they were trying the premium idea, either that or they just didn't develop their hardware very well and had to charge a lot for it. But it was like I owned almost every system back in that era. Like at some point, I would get a hold of it for a little while, and then I'd sell it if I didn't like it, just like people do now. And Neo Geo was the one I never owned because it was so crazy expensive. Like I can't say for sure, but I think it was like $500 to $600 back in the '80s, and you were like, like what? Like even now, that's like an insane amount of money. And back then, that was a lot more. But in the arcade, there were Neo Geo cabinets that eventually they figured out like that was another outlet for them to make money. And so they had like just like the Play Choice 10 for Nintendo, like where you could go and play different games in one cabinet. They had Neo Geo cabinets, like where you could play different Neo Geo games in the arcade because they were basically arcade quality graphics, like in that era. So
nice.
Yeah, that's kind of the history of that story. That's why when Nintendo acquired them, I have no idea what the deal was behind that, or acquired all the rights to all those games, I should say, would be a better way to put it. Like that, I always thought like that's kind of a cool thing because like for Virtual Console, it's one of the few things like that could get me to download stuff like that.
Yeah, they always seemed very mamey. That's what I always heard about Neo Geo because you said they were arcade quality and all that other shit, and I was like, is this MAME or is this like like which one is which? Kind of
Neo Geo was very close to arcade style in the era of like the heyday of the arcade. So it was like
that's what made it so expensive though. Like if you're saying it's in the heyday of arcade, you're like, bro, you're basically taking home your own cabinet. You know what I mean?
That was the idea. You were buying into having like a really, really high end system in your house, but then that also probably killed the system because nobody wanted to pay that much. It's like, are you kidding?
I'm looking at their handheld, the Neo Geo Pocket. Images on Google, and there's like a fighting game that they're showing like on the box art, and I'm like, this looks just like, or Pocket Rumble looks like just like this, like the size of the characters, the colors, and just the way it's made. So I'm like, oh man, they
I remember that being like kind of a really hot looker, like when Switch was like showing all the indies or whatever. So neat. See, I can get into that. We were talking about fighting games earlier and not being into it. Like ironically, like a demastered, like kind of retro version like this is way more interesting to me than playing something like high tech and modern. I'm like, oh, that'll probably be hilarious or something. But anyway, cool, nice announcement. Pocket Rumble finally out.
Yep. And then apparently in WarioWare Gold, the 3DS game, you can dub your own cutscenes.
Yeah, Wario had spoke a lot in that game too. The demo's like coming out, intro.
Right? I think it's probably already out.
Oh damn! Yeah, I'm actually excited for WarioWare. I was kind of once again another game I was really hoping more for the Switch. But I'm getting my Mario Party. So that means we'll get our WarioWare later. I just think those kind of games are like quirky enough for the Switch to work. Like my favorite WarioWare is actually it's not the GBA one. Even though I think that's the best WarioWare, but my favorite WarioWare is actually Smooth Moves on the Wii.
Oh, nice.
So.
It is not out yet. Just to fact check that, it is coming up very soon. WarioWare
the demo.
Gold. Matt, you're the demo king.
The article I have says the demo's up, but I think this is just for Europe.
Okay.
I don't know.
The demo's probably up, and then I think what does it come out? August or September, right? WarioWare.
End of this month, according to a quick Google.
July 27th.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yes.
Nice.
There you go.
WarioWare Gold. How do you guys feel about it? Because like personally, like I'm not that interested because I don't really want to play the greatest hits of Wario. I want a whole new game.
Mhm.
but I'm
And
curious.
it's
what
the
you got.
greatest hits of WarioWare games. I mean,
This-
most WarioWare games are never too different. Is that the best way to say it?
Hmm.
Like they
Right.
usually add something new. And that'll be the quirk of the game. But yeah, I'm excited. I mean, I think WarioWare games are just naturally fun
Mhm.
Yeah.
to play with somebody or against somebody. Like I mean, me and Matt played Mario Party the top 100. It's just fun. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
you're playing the best of games. So
That's
Yeah.
fair. That's fair.
Yeah,
It's
fun
on
game.
3DS though. Is that gonna stop you guys from picking it up?
Yeah, I'm probably not
Uh,
gonna bother. I didn't even
Yeah, Matt.
check
Matt-
out the
Yeah.
demo. I'm like,
I-
I'm done with the 3DS.
Matt didn't even get
leave it in the
Detective
corner.
Pikachu, and that's
I've-
who he made Smash 5.
Yeah.
Okay.
I took my charger off my desk, or my 3DS charger off my desk, and done. It was like the one where you just like place it. I'm like, you know what? I need room.
Oh.
Time to move it.
I'm not done with
Go.
my 3DS yet because I just want to finish like the 1 or 2 games I have left.
Yeah.
But
There's still some cool games I could probably check out, but I'm like, yeah, I don't know.
That's so sad. Like it's like that's like I like that you know for sure like it's done for you. Like you're like I moved the charger.
Yeah.
That's like you're like
that is
like,
the
like
sign
yeah, like it's like
of a,
like no,
of a
it's,
dead thingy.
it's like when you like you have to like make room on your like console like shelf in your like living room or something. It's like oh your time has come. Like you know it. Like you're like I hate to tell you old friend, but there's a plastic bin in the basement with your name on it and you're going there.
Yeah.
I'll get you out soon, I promise. You know.
I
But,
promise you.
I'll get you back out, old friend. But we had some good times. But I need room for this shiny new item that's going on my shelf over here.
Matt,
you know.
Matt needs his Switch Mini or Switch
Yeah.
whatever the second version of it is.
Yeah. No, if you're me, it's like I'm doing the opposite thing. I'm taking off these new systems and getting out my old Super Nintendo. Like,
Oh,
yeah,
man.
I'm like, you're coming back, old friend. You're out. You're out in the open again.
Nice.
Breathe the air.
Yeah.
Breathe the air. Yeah, change colors.
Out of your
Change
dust
color.
encrusted lungs.
Yeah, totally. Scrub you down, give you a little bath here.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So enough about that. What else?
Interestingly, so a lot of people say like, oh, Pokemon Go, it's dead, no one's playing it, blah blah blah, and you could not be more wrong. So over its lifetime, it has earned $1.8 billion.
$1 billion. Oh my
yeah,
god.
with a pinky billion.
Yeah, I've got. That's the only billion I knew about.
Exactly.
Nicely played.
Apparently, it broke a billion a year and a half ago, like January 2017, which is insane.
So
I don't remember when it
it's like-
first came out, but at least like a
Wow.
year or two in, it
It
broke
came
a
out 2
billion.
years ago. 2 years ago.
Yeah, and it's still making apparently 70 million a month.
Oh,
Can't,
wow.
yeah, you know what's funny? My school's gamer
There you
club
go.
was doing a sign up for Pokemon Go thing, and I'm like, you poor, out of date fools.
That's pretty crazy. It does not sound like they're out of date at all, friend. It sounds like you're out of the loop, bro. It sounds like
Dude,
you're.
Pokemon Go is so bad though. Like, play a real Pokemon game, damn it.
Oh man, I wish I had a picture of that sign up sheet and like right above it, it's like Fortnite best game ever. That's all the sign says.
Yeah, that's you. I can't believe you.
I think that'd be funny if that was your reaction. You're just like, oh no. You have to look at
No, yeah, dude.
these
Freaking.
people. These
Yeah.
people. What do they do it? Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
So,
So if you don't like Pokemon Let's Go, Pikachu and Eevee, well, you're just wrong.
Yeah.
There's
true
clearly
that.
a reason for it.
True that, man.
Yeah, that's the only thing. I'm like, should I play? I want to play Pokemon Go just because I want Pokemon. Hey, you Pikachu, and then I'll talk in the mic and be like, hey, Pikachu, go left. And he'll never go there. Yeah, I mean for Pikachu, let's go Pikachu, but yeah. So
Oh,
I don't
my.
know. I don't know, man. I don't know.
Well, then that's some good profiteering for the Pokemon Corporation. I really was staying up late at night worrying that they weren't rich enough.
Yeah, I obviously I knew you were.
It's good to hear, it's really good to hear
I
that
know.
they're finally on top again. Like it's
They
good
really
stuff.
pulled themselves up from the
really
ashes.
really good. Nice, I love it.
I don't know. I just
love
thought
it.
it was
What
funny
a
just to see
comeback
how
story.
yeah,
What a
just to
clip.
see how insane it is. Like I would not
That
have.
is
I mean, I didn't really put any thought into it, but I still wouldn't have expected that much. Almost $2 billion. Jeez, that's insane.
good stuff. I'm happy for them.
Oh my
Poor,
gosh.
poor little Pikachu doesn't have to sleep in a box anymore. He's upgrading to a real bed. That's great.
He has a mansion.
Yeah.
He owns a
Pikachu's
country
got-
at this point.
Yeah, how about it, man? He's worth more than a few of them. So
Oh my gosh.
that's
yeah.
pretty crazy, man. Pretty
Yeah.
crazy. Nice.
Next up, I figured this is important. So Unoclay really likes the Splatoon mini games, or at least in the
Yes.
first one. And there's new Splatoon amiibo of Pearl and Marina from the second one. And I'm like, oh man, I gotta check this out for Unoclay. Do some hard-hitting journalism, see what unlockables come in this
Please tell
sucker.
me they did it. What is it? What is?
We'll see. One thing that's I think's pretty cool is you get the so in the Octo expansion, both Pearl and Marina have different costumes, and it unlocks or it gives you those costumes for your own character, which is pretty cool. So you have their outfits and whatnot. And then this is worded weirdly, so I might have to go over again. But apparently, for the minigame, there's a new visual theme, so I guess you can change the look of it. I don't know, I haven't really spent any time in it. And sound effects, again, I didn't know you could change those. It's just a new visual theme and sound effects for the Squid Beats minigame. They don't give you a new minigame or anything. It's just visuals, unfortunately.
Okay.
Womp womp.
No mini games. So
I know.
hard-hitting journalism. That's in nada. Butt kiss.
Garbage. They failed. They couldn't give you the one thing you needed.
It's the weirdest thing, man. We've talked about it. You even remember me talking about it on this very show. It is the best use of amiibos that ever has been, and it feels like nobody noticed. And because of that, Nintendo's not going to bother repeating it. Like it's like for the listeners who don't know, in Splatoon 1 on Wii U, a system you may or may not have owned. If you're listening to this, you probably did. If you scanned any of the Splatoon amiibos into your console, it added mini games that you played while you waited in the lobby for the next match to start. It was brilliant. It was like little 8-bit mini games that instead of just sitting in a lobby twiddling your thumbs, you could play some kind of game. And they were pretty goofy and pretty simplistic, like literally like a 1980s video game simplicity level, like something real simple and stupid to do. But it was cool because you got a game with your amiibo, like, or it unlocked a game at the very least, you know. So yeah, bummer. Thanks for checking, Matt.
Yeah, no problem. I had to do it for you. I don't even think you can play them in Splatoon 2 like in between matches. I think you have to like go out of your way to play the music game, which is kind of stupid.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it
exactly.
makes more sense if you have like a music game. It wouldn't really work if you're like, hey, I'm waiting for a match. Let me play a music game. Oh, it cut off like the music. Like that would kind of suck versus, you know, a level where you're jumping endlessly. But I mean,
it paused the game. That's how it worked in the first one. That's what made it brilliant.
Right.
Like it literally the second like your match was loaded, like fully populated, it paused exactly where you were. And as soon as you were done with the match and dropped back into the menu, you could restart at your will. You could and it would just pick up exactly where you were, like frame perfect. Like there you go, like right back into the game. Like I just think like people didn't respond enough to it, so they didn't see a reason to do it. Is my best guess, because like I don't know. It would be the only reason I'd really need to like put those like amiibos on my must-have list. You know, I'd be like, oh, if you're gonna give me mini games to play in Splatoon 2, it would be a reason for me to play Splatoon 2 some more, and it would be cool. Like, so I'd buy the amiibos, but excuse me, a long day. But as it stands, yeah, probably not. So, but neat.
And
I don't
also, I didn't really like that mini game in 2 because the not hit detection, but it felt like when you pressed a button, it reacted slower than what you actually did. It felt like there was a solid delay. And it's a rhythm game, and I'm like, this doesn't feel good. Like, just do it when I press it. Like, you have so many games that do this. How can you not do it? Whatever.
Yeah, I didn't play it enough, to be honest with you, because it's not in the menu, like in the waiting room. I guess I should say. Like,
there's no reason to bother.
I never played it that much. It's like if it would even be in the in the waiting screen, I'd be down with it, but it's not the case. So, yeah. Anyway,
I might
anyway,
I might be streaming Splatoon 2, and I do not look forward to when I have to reopen the game, because I'm pretty sure the last time I played it was like last August. So it's going to be like, you're going to have to go through a year's worth of updates and weapons, and I'm going to be like, this is going to suck. I'm going to have to listen to a podcast while I mash A through all of the dialogue. Here's 50 weapons or whatever, however much they put through. Jeez,
you're
have a skip button, for crying out loud. Like, it's not that hard. If you want to read their dialogue, that's fine. And I mean, I would if I was, playing the game, consistently. But if you wait too long, it's like, I don't want to. Like, I haven't opened it, so we'll see what happens. But I'm not hoping for the best. And it's just like, have a button and just skip it.
You are going to have to click for quite a while, Matt. Like,
gosh, I know.
If you're aware of that,
I'm serious. It's probably going to take like 30 minutes. I'm going to guess.
Like, if you're not aware of it, like, because you don't play a lot of Splatoon, it's like the funny meme of it is, anyone who's played Splatoon with any devotion knows about this. Like, if you don't log into the game for a long time, because it's a consequence of how much they're supporting the game, ironically, that when you log in the next time, you have to listen to like 20 minutes of announcements of all the things you haven't seen since the last time you played. And so you have to literally sit there, and like the game is like, guess what?
Well, it's weird because the news part, I think they actually cut down. So it's like, let's say for Splatfest, I think it'll only they'll talk about like the latest thing that happened. They won't like, I don't think I'll run into like, here's the 7 Splatfests that have happened since then. So I think that'll be fine. But when you go to like the weapon shop, like before you can even buy or look at the other weapons, the guy would be like, I have new weapons for you. And I'm like, you'll be like, okay, well, now if I want to get a weapon, I'm forced to listen to you. And I'm going to be forced to listen to like, I can't even imagine how many weapons. Because usually when they release weapons, they release a couple at a time, along with some clothes or some crap. So it's like, oh god, you're
gonna literally be clicking for 10 minutes. It's not a joke.
Yeah.
Like,
oh my god,
crazy.
Like even old news, like that shit's done, kind of thing.
Yes, like when he logs in for the first time, the opening screen, it's still the same as in Splatoon 1. Like the hosts of the game are like, it's like a TV show. This is supposed to be, and they're gonna be like, oh, there's some new news. There's a new weapon, and he's gonna have to listen to that. And I think you're right. The news section will be less, but the weapon store is going to be pure living hell. Like for you to even get your new bucket or whatever, like thing you're trying to get in there and get, like you're going to be like, you're going to pay for that bucket, buddy. You're going to pay.
Good thing I unlocked one already. Maybe I won't go to it.
Yeah. It's a decision you have to make.
I probably will. Oh well, YouTube provides enough content that I can listen while I play.
Yeah. There you go. There you go. You live in the
Why couldn't I have a second Switch so I could play Mario and Rabbids while I just mash through Splatoon?
Yeah, exactly. All right.
No, not even.
I think my Joy-Cons are messed up. I gotta get new ones.
Really?
Like, yeah, like my A button, I have to press pretty hard. Yeah, my O button's like fake jammed in. Like the top head is jammed in, but the side is still out. You know what I mean? It's like.
Does it happen with other games? Because to me, I think that happens with just Mario and like Rabbids sometimes. Like I've been playing some other games fine since then, and then I was playing, the game recently, and sometimes it'll be like, "Did you select A? Okay, well I'll select it like 5 seconds after you pressed it, and you move the cursor, and now your character moves to a spot you didn't want to." I'm like, thanks.
No, mine's more of like if I'm lightly hitting A, like and you can feel it click, it doesn't register. But if I actually put some force into it, but like I could do that with the other buttons. I'm just like,
that sucks.
Fine.
What did you eat? Some Doritos and some Cheetos and stuff while you were like touching them?
I never eat when I play my game. I keep my Matt saw I still have the original wrapping on my PS4. Right? I have that stupid white thing on the bottom of it. That's the shit that it comes with. When it comes to my game systems, it is pure and clean. When it comes to anything else, it's trash.
Didn't you have like the plastic on the Wii U or something too?
Yeah, I have the original wrapping on my Wii U. Yeah,
like liner.
Yeah,
oh
I have.
God, crazy person. You're like a grandma with her couch where she keeps.
Yeah, dude, I can't afford that.
He is Italian, so I mean.
It's in my nature.
Oh man, that's great. Oh, I love it. I love it. That's funny. I'm gonna come into your house and like just mess things up. I'm gonna like make sure I have like dirt on my hands and start touching everything. Be like, oh, let me touch your game system.
F that, bro. No one touches the systems, man.
Oh,
My
man,
shits
that's
are
great.
pure.
I love that. I love that you use the plastic on it. That is classic. That is great. Good stuff. Good deets we're learning on the podcast tonight. I'm loving this. Germaphobe Mike. For system germaphobe. Yeah.
Hell yeah. And I'm
Good stuff.
germaphobe in church too. I hear somebody coughing. I'm like, I don't know, man.
You do the cross thing with your fingers. You're like, stay away from me.
Yeah. And he's like, oh, thanks, man.
That's
Thanks
what I
for
do
the
when
peace,
someone
you
has
know?
a cold. I'm like, get away.
I'm like, I like to live.
Yeah.
God, learning too much about you, I think now. This is
Yeah.
great. What else, Matt?
All
What
right,
else other than Mike's phobias about getting his systems unwrapped? This is great. Oh man, I gotta think of how to use this against you.
Yeah.
This is wonderful information.
We'll probably end with this one, but Warframe is coming to Switch, and there's reasons for why I want to talk about it in a second. It's a free-to-play online shooter. Apparently, it's a good game. I've heard about it over the years because it's been out for years on other consoles, and apparently it's a good game. And it does have microtransactions, but I've heard like they implement it in such a way that it's not like shady or unfair. Like, oh, you buy this weapon and it's you automatically win sort of thing. I think that's what I know it for. Like, I know it for mostly those two things, like doing microtransaction like fairly is like a model people should follow, and then obviously the game itself. I said free to play on it. So it's coming to Switch. You won't be able to move your account over to the Switch, and you can't cross-play between consoles, unfortunately. I don't know the reason why. Who knows why? But my question is, I wonder how many more online shooters or MOBAs are going to have to come to Switch before Blizzard actually brings Overwatch. Because I know they said they're not really going to. But now we have Fortnite, we have Paladins,
And you have fake
and now we
Overwatch.
have Fortnite, Paladins, and Warframe, and I'm sure other ones will probably be jumping over because those are three pretty big online games of that sort of genre. So
Yeah, it's
like,
not like
hey,
people
other
aren't
people are
playing
doing
them.
well. Yeah,
You know what I mean?
like Fortnite got I think like 2 million downloads like within the first like day it was out on Switch.
Yeah.
Like something
Yeah.
insane. It's like holy
I
shit.
mean, I thought about downloading that bad boy too.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man. That's I'm not familiar with Warframe, so it's pretty similar. It's another like, is it a battle royale? Is it like just another shooter?
No, you can use like guns and swords and whatnot, and I should have said you're also robots, so that's gives different. It's more of a sci-fi look to it.
Interesting. All right, cool. Yeah, I've never heard of it before you posted about it, but I'm not the hippest, as you guys know. I'm the opposite of the hippest in many cases, and I'm not familiar with it. But I mean, have you guys played this game at all, or you're just vaguely familiar with it? It's not one you really played. or whatever?
I'm vaguely. I've heard the name, but I've never played it, kind of thing.
Interesting.
So
you Oversplotch took over your world, and that was like
I'm an Oversplotch guy, thin and thick. You think Realm Royale is gonna come to Switch? Any rumor on that? It's like a Realm Royale. It's like Fortnite, but it's better, and it's made by those. I don't know what you call those other guys. Oh my god, like the people who made that Paladins. Yeah, they made Paladins. They made their own Fortnite type game. So.
I don't know.
Pretty fun though.
Speaking of, Mike, since you're more in the online space, what are other like, I don't know, big games like this that could potentially come over? Because
I don't think PUBG is coming. I think PUBG is an Xbox exclusive thing.
Yeah, definitely.
Realm Royale was my guess because it's made by the Paladins guy.
I'll just look up their studio.
So, like, it's just when I hear that, like, I'm like thinking, okay, I could see these kind of games coming. I can like the thing is though, a lot of these free to play games, like, aren't they all made by like an indie studio or something like that? Like, it's not like what do you call it? It's not like it's just some random like company like that's producing them and all that, right? It's like legitimately like a very small dev team, and I don't know too much on it. Like, I mean, the best way to look is honestly you would go on Twitch and you would just browse the games on top, and you see Fortnite. I don't see any Tom Clancy game ever coming. PUBG is definitely not coming. We already have Rocket League. Like, I don't know what Ark or Dead by Daylight are. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like stuff like that. Like I just can't see coming. But here's Warframe. Warframe is the number 10 game. You know what I mean? That's being played. So you look at that and you're like, okay, well, you're definitely gonna see Warframe. I mean, I'm surprised Blizzard doesn't want to jump on ship with the Switch because they could, put Diablo. They could put like other games. Besides, they could put what's that card game? The fake Magic the Gathering they have.
Hearthstone.
Yeah, they could do that.
Hearthstone,
You
yeah.
know, like that's I don't understand why Blizzard won't do it, but it's just strange. There's always going to be a lot of like these random games. Like I said, Realm Royale is not a huge game. It gets popular sometimes, like people know of it, but it's made by those Paladin people, and
Say it slower, Mike. What you're saying, because I can't understand you. What game is it?
Realm Royale.
Realm.
Yeah.
Like realm. Got it.
Yeah,
I
like a
understand.
medieval version of Fortnite.
Realm Royale.
You know,
Got it.
it's pretty fun. I enjoy it. You know what I mean? Like they keep changing the game constantly, but it's like those developers have something on the Switch, so it's not anything.
I'm sure
different.
they might bring it over like after like this is a test, and apparently I don't know if Paladins is like finished or so to say, but Realm Royale says it's an early access game, and I think Paladins has been out for a couple of years, so that's probably why too. But yeah, I guess that's the biggest online games or whatever for the most part. Like obviously PUBG isn't coming to anything else like you said.
Yeah,
the other ones,
I think Xbox got like an exclusive right with them or something.
yeah, they did.
They also came out too late to console. They were the first of that kind, and well, technically H1Z1 was, but
Cool.
Yeah, so
Cool.
who
Cool,
knows?
bro.
I guess I guess there's not many more games that can come over to, I guess, convince Blizzard, or maybe they'll be on long enough. Who knows?
Yeah,
knows,
interesting.
indeed.
Like
It's just weird.
I don't know enough about the genre of like all these games. Like you're asking Mike like to comment on it. It is odd. I mean, they haven't released a statement on Overwatch. Like it's not a power thing straight up. Like Switch isn't powerful enough for it, or
I forget. They said something before.
I mean,
I feel like-
you want to play Overwatch in low settings, which is, you know what I mean? It's kind of funny.
Yeah.
Like on your computer, like I don't keep them on like epic high graphics. Like I need them on low, for like
So
less
it's
buffer
fast.
and all that.
Right. Yeah, interesting, man. Like I didn't know that. Like I didn't know how much power it demands or whatever. Or like if that's a standard thing or whatever. So
It might need a lot. I don't really know like their full specs, but I know faux fact that I know faux fact because freaking like all the pros, we all keep it on like not me, like with the pros keep it on low. I keep it on medium, but yeah, you want lower settings actually than what can do in this game. So
Right. Cool stuff, man. Well, I don't know. Like, I mean, if this Warframe thing is like something to get on, maybe I'd check it out. Like, I don't know anything about it. It's like, hey, this free to play model isn't my favorite thing. I don't like the way it's pushing the industry in that direction. And like, I especially find it bizarre when I go into Fortnite and it's like, I get the feeling I'm supposed to buy this crap and I don't understand why. Like, I'm just like looking through these menus and I'm like, why would I want any of this stuff? Like it doesn't do anything. It's just cosmetic. Like I don't want it. Like I'm not of that generation maybe where that would matter to me, but I feel pressured to buy stuff the whole time. And I'm like, I don't like that about it. Like that is definitely a symptom of the free to play model. And I'm like, not like it's that much of a bother. I just find it kind of like, I don't know, weird. Like these menus, like things I'm sort of supposed to buy or something. Like I'm supposed to care and I don't quite understand why. You know, like
I know that feel. I don't get why people would buy Fortnite. That confuses me as well.
I mean, like it's like it's like then there's this conflict in my heart that I've like played it like 10 hours and I feel like I should give them a couple bucks, like for no other reason. Like hey, I don't know. I believe in supporting. Like I mean, it's like, you know, and it's like
it's okay. They're not gonna, you don't have to spend
they have more than
they're
enough.
only making like $17 bajillion from it.
Yeah, little Timmy's doing pretty fine, giving his mom's credit card info to it. Do not worry.
That's pretty great. I hear you. No, I know. Like it's true. But you know, the point remains, like I don't necessarily love the free to play model because of that. Like I think, you know, in my heart, I'd rather pay $10 for the game up front and then it be like a little cleaner looking, like cleaner interface, like because like when I go in there, it's like there is that like there's just menu after menu of stuff I think
Yeah.
you're supposed to buy. Like
Don't worry,
whatever.
it won't change with your $10.
Yeah.
They'll
Yeah, I
continue to make it shit because people will buy it. And that's the one thing I hate about these kind of models. People don't change. They don't
Yeah.
change what they get, even with the money like they earn. It's like,
Right.
yo,
Right.
like that
Right.
makes me mad, and that's why I hate free to play. Is
Right.
It's like, first off, you're gonna people who pay get an advantage, and then anyway, the game doesn't change, and like it just doesn't change. Even with the money they earn. That's personally that's why I hate free to play. And you always hear me shitting on mobile games. It's like I think these scumbags just take their money and they don't actually try to improve the game.
Yeah, no, I hear you, man. Like it's a complicated question, and that is partly why I prefer Nintendo's universe of like, hey, we charge you a price up front, and you get a clean, fixed game that works perfectly without this like sense of like bombarded with microtransactions or whatever, like some sensation of this. In the end, it doesn't really matter. I'm very first world problem. I'm crying about something that doesn't matter at all. Like they gave me this free game. Oh yeah. It's menus like that.
Free game.
Yeah, like wham, poor me. I mean, it doesn't interrupt the experience at all. Like when I'm playing the game, I can say that for Fortnite. There's no like I'm in the middle of a battle and a commercial popping up or something like that. Like there's nothing like that. It's like literally only when I'm in the menus, and you don't even have to click into those menus. I don't have to look at them at all. It's like there's a feed on the bottom of like information that's like, oh, season 7 starting now. Make sure to get your special items, or whatever. And I'm like, I don't even get it. I don't care. Like, what are you talking about?
Don't forget, you're only gonna get cosmetics, dude. You're not gonna be getting that. Like a different gun or a different map, you're gonna get pants, dude.
You're gonna get pants.
Yeah, totally.
Man, I don't even want to wear pants in the real world. Never mind the digital world.
This game's making me wear pants all the time. I know, man. How about it? It's freaking this force feeding me my pants. I don't like it.
Don't impress me with your pants.
Yeah, I mean, like you're never gonna play the other mode that comes with the game when you buy it. I don't know what it's called, like 50-50 or something, right? Or like you versus zombies. Like I don't know anybody on the planet who's ever played that.
No, we do. We play squads and we play like the 50-50. Like sometimes it's kind of fun.
Wait, how do you play 50 if you don't own the game? I thought 50-50 was only for owners.
No, it's 50-50 on Switch is free.
It's like yeah, I don't get it. Why would you buy the game?
They don't have, some of the modes are not included, period. Like, I mean, they don't have the zombie mode. Like,
like Firefight, right? Like something like that.
Yeah, I don't know the names because I've never played them because I don't, have it on any of the system. But
you're just gonna play against AIs. I mean,
yeah, no, they did just add playground mode, which was huge for people like me. Which like that was the one thing I thought was a bleeding, like obvious, like absence, like of a mode. When I got it was because like you can never really practice one of the fundamental skills of Fortnite, which is building forts, like in the real game, because you just get killed as soon as you do because people see you and they're better than you and they come and kill you. And it's like, so you're like a sitting duck if you're sitting there trying to learn to build, which is kind of hard. You have to like learn a lot of little techniques and you have to learn to get really fast at it, so you can like really whip up a storm of like an elaborate tower in a matter of seconds, realistically, if you want to be competitive. And like you can't. And they finally added playground mode where like you and your friends can go in like a dojo, like the island's empty except for you and anyone else you invite. And so, and actually we had like a laugh out loud good time, me and my friends like playing it, because like we were just building absurd towers into the sky and then just like running around and then like shooting at each other without the pressure of like worrying about like anybody coming with an RPG any second and like blowing us all to smithereens and kicking us out of the game. It was like, so that was kind of, we were having a pretty good time. And one of my friends was sitting on the tree sniping at us, and just practicing his skills or whatever. So that was new, and they're supporting the game like that. So they hadn't been clear to my knowledge of whether there was going to be any post-launch support. And so they did roll out, the most lowbrow mode you could ever ask for, but still it was kind of like good because I felt myself get better instantly because I was like, I can actually work on stuff without the fear of bloody fiery death at any second, like raining down on me. So yeah, they're supporting it. So anyhow, Fortnite,
Nice.
Fartnite.
Fortnite.
This is a Nintendo podcast, Clay. Get out of here.
I know.
I
It's
don't
on
give
Nintendo.
a shit about your Fortnite.
Minecraft's on Nintendo, my friend.
It doesn't matter. I don't care about your Fortnite and freaking Minecraft. Okay, we play
Fortnite
games
and
on this podcast. Okay, we don't play garbage. Okay.
I don't know. We were talking about Mario Galaxy 2 before.
Oh yeah, that is true. Got him.
You're just
Go,
teeing
man.
him up, man.
I mean, we got. Hey, man, you know what? We were talking about a lot of stank garbage today. 'Cause I heard Clay bring up Breath of the Wild. All right, trash of the wild, stank of the wild. You know.
The show, right, man?
You think this show? We could have got through a show without me complaining, but that's
Nope, never
it.
gonna happen.
Good stuff.
All right.
Good stuff. All right.
And,
Well, Matt, anything
well-
else on the radar we're going to talk about here?
No, that's about it. Just to add, apparently, this port is probably going to be ported well because Panic Button is making it. And for those who don't know, they've been doing all like the good ports on the Switch. They did the Wolfenstein one. They did some
Rocket
other
League.
ones. Yeah,
Rocket League.
so they're up to
Wolfenstein.
snuff. So
Yeah,
it should
sure.
at least work well and look good. Yeah.
Nice.
My only problem with
That's for-
these types of games
That's
is
the
that there's too many.
What you're saying.
Yeah.
I was saying,
What?
cool. That you're saying it's for they're doing Warframe or whatever it's called.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
what
yeah.
you were. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
All right. What were you gonna say? I'm sorry to interrupt you.
Oh, no, that's okay. I was just gonna say my only problem with these games is that there's too many stinking menus and like things to keep track of. Like Paladins, it's like, well, I like that you can upgrade stuff, which is cool, but it's like there's all these different costumes and all these different things you can buy in cards, and just like this is a mess. I feel like I should go through this stuff so I know what I'm doing, but at the same time, it's such a cluster that I just want to avoid it all. So.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh,
Not having
Overwatch
played,
is
I don't
nicer in
know.
that way. It's just like here, you choose your character and you shoot the thing. It's like great.
Yeah.
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 That's
I
probably
mean,
just
I would
wanted
say
to
that
put
about Fortnite. Like, not to be
Yeah,
a
that
Tittle fan.
too.
It's really simple. It's
Oh,
like just
I don't know.
you know,
They have some stuff
Yes.
in there.
just press start and go. Realistically, it's pretty simple. Like
Mm-hmm.
you don't really equip yourself or anything. You know, it's just like get going.
Well, you
So,
don't have to, but it's just like there's other menus you can go through and whatnot.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, anyway.
Cool.
I think we'll end it there. You can find me at
Alright.
the Mango Viking on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Source Gaming. And Mike, where can people find you?
Alright, guys, find me at Gaming Night Live. I've been doing like VOD reviews. It's not more Overwatch stuff, but the community reached out to me. But if other than that, you can find me at Troy Fullbuster on Twitch or Troy FB on Twitter. Thank you.
Nice. So yeah, I didn't watch the
Thank you.
videos. Sorry, but you're reviewing.
Yeah, like
someone else's
the
playing
the
game?
community was like kind of coming out, and I was like, oh, I'll do VOD reviews and all that, and like so like a lot of players, because like I'm a GM, so that's less than 1% of the game,
Mhm.
the rank I'm in, which
Oh, wow.
Overwatch has a big team. Yeah, they have a lot of players.
Nice, man.
Yeah, so I VOD reviewed them, try to help them get better, people who want to improve. So
So you tell
you know?
people why they suck. Perfect.
yeah.
Perfect.
I was like, yo,
Mic
this
drop.
is the reason why you failed your team and you need to go home and cry at night. And they're like, I'm already at home crying. I'm like, good. That's the first step. Yeah.
The next is throw away the game and give up all hope.
Yeah, I'm like, you
Right.
give up the game, give me money, and then wish to be like me. All right, GG. And you're like, true fact. And,
Oh,
and boom.
there you go. And Unoclay, where can people find you?
I'm Unoclay _switch on the tweets, and I'm Unoclay Gaming on the YouTubes. And right now, I really need to finish a video I've been working on for a while, but I don't know if it's going to happen before I have to leave, and I have to bid farewell for a couple weeks. I won't be on the show for the next couple weeks. I will be traveling, and so I am going to trust in you guys to hold down the fort, talk about nerdy stuff, and make all the right votes in all the upcoming matches, because I won't be around to be able to be part of it. So I wish you all the best with that.
What a guy.
Thank you.
What a guy.
What a guy
Well,
is right, my
I'll have
friend.
to I'll have to get some guests that are totally non-partial and objective for
Yeah, we gotta get
voting
the we got
process.
whatever the game coming up is. We gotta get like that crew. So it's like the next game is like the Ratchet and Clank, and like here's my friend, Ratchet and Clank 222, and his best friend Clank 33 for life.
Yeah.
Okay, so who we voting for, boys? Get people like that. Oh, you're like the opposite, like the We Hate Miyamoto group, and they're like, you know what I mean? I'm like, nice. Oh, yeah.
Oh man.
Very good.
So, wherever you're listening, you can find us at Just Another Castle on basically every platform on the internet. Hit us up with your questions, or if you're interested in being a guest at Just Another Castle, or me directly at the Manga Viking. So until next time, leave luck to the heavens and leave gaming to Nintendo.
Peace all.